This is IBM Museum, and behind me on the bench I have an IBM PS2 model P75. That's the bigger version of the PS2 P70 that's based on the 386 CPU. The P75 is based on the 46 CPU, and I'm actually going to be going through. This is one of 3 units I have, and this looks to be in the best shape. But I'm going to be going through and just checking on the inside just to kind of see how things are. I still have little pieces and dust coming out of the places, so I want to open up the back panel. There's the orange plasma screen on the front. The diskette, it doesn't have the latch, so that seems like it goes through and just comes down all the way. I'll have to go through and work with the other 2 units I have just to see if I can kind of combine and get one really good unit. One of the units I do have has a display board out of it. Let me go through. I'm going to switch to the camcorder and turn off the internal webcam, and that way I can kind of see what I'm showing up here on screen. I do have this back bay open, and this is for the AC outlet over here, and then the IO connections here, and this of course also opens up and shows all the adapter positions, the external display connections here, and of course it's only the internal display or external at one time. It doesn't do both displays at the same time. But serial parallel, even a IBM SCSI connector down here that was built in on the P75. We'll get looking at that, and then the Hosiden connector for the external diskette drive if you had it. And so normally this is going through and loosening up some screws. I'll give a link to the opening up the case. Just gonna look at the bottom, and of course it does have a lock there that is opened. Let me go through and show that the opening the case from the Ardent tool, and I've gone through and they just show where you lay the unit just exactly as I have it, and to go through and pull this back panel off. And I guess they show the door open normally with this screw released, and then the others. And the P70 opens a lot easier than the P75. And on the P70, I think they even have they've got screws down here that look like, in this instance, they're missing on this model. Let me see if I can, to get that. It just pivots up and out of the way. There's the kind of the metallic shielding on the back. It even shows how to put in SIMs. on that label, which is kind of, I guess, an odd thing for just that label. That's maybe where they had the, where they wanted to put it. And we can see there's spider webs and stuff like that. That's why I talked about wanting to go through and clean it, because it looks pretty good, but there's cobwebs and things like that in there. So this is the display board that's behind here. And like I say, I've got one of these out separate. And as you know, the commentary has been made. This says made in Japan right on it. For the CPU card, which is this board here, made in Japan. And goes through, you've got the battery and things like that up here. And one of the things at the time, and it's funny that they've got the Intel S spec printed on top, but I mean, this CPU is soldered into that daughter card and does have a BIOS there, and I believe these down here in the sockets, that's actually the SCSI ROM extensions that are there, because this does have built-in SCSI onto the planar of the unit. Of course, down here at the bottom, the SCSI hard drive, it even has an external switch. You can go through and select the SCSI ID. A little cable that goes back and to the back of the drive. And the power supply looks pretty good. We'll have to check, because I don't want to go through, and I want to make sure that these power supplies are clean, that they're operational, get to fire up the unit. And so one of the big things I can see, and of course I'll have to look at my other models, there's no, I don't have any RAM in there right now. So that'd be something I have to go through and do to get this going. You can see the upper and lower slots, and of course on the P70 it's smaller. It's a thinner case, and it just has a single upper slot and a single lower slot. And the P75 goes through and effectively doubles that. So that's what they have. But that'll be interesting, because to see this start up, and even though this is not a recognized system under the system information tool, just running through that utility on it and kind of checking out things further. Once I get some RAM in there and go through and get the system to where I can boot it up. It's funny, it says polarized plug on the hard drive. Well, yeah, I would think it'd be polarized anyway. There's only one way you can insert it. So we'll get looking at that a little bit more, and get some RAM into it to go through and get it turned on and take a look at it. But I hope that this has been an informative enough video for people to see. Something I've kind of had sitting on the back bench for a little while, and need to get those units out to look at them further. Need to capture the BIOS of this unit and go through and work with it a little bit more. So if you enjoy the video, click on the like button, please. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. But that's all I have for now. This is IBM Museum. Thank you.